camera's too high. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale. I'm the general manager, and Josh Proffitt. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Josh is our service director here at Hambelton Ford. And yes, we are Underhood live at Hambelton Ford. It's the first time doing live on YouTube Live and also Facebook Live. And sorry, we are no longer on the radio, so you'll have to catch us on these two places here too. And we've got a new phone number to call in. So we're going to be calling the main store here at the dealership at 316-462-3673. And Josh, how do I throw that back up there?
So you're going to come over here to captions and down. So while Phil's getting that up there,
we need to talk about the prize package.
Let everybody know what they're going to win if they were to call in and talk to us live here.
So it's up there. The number's up live there. So let's get the phones ringing. And Josh, as always, what's in that package? Buy it at over $130.
Yeah, so we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the tires, brakes, batteries, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on your vehicle, just making sure that it's geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the big corner, as well as complete nitrogen. So you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer for your vehicle, and a BG products package, which is going to consist of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then a can of CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, so let's get the phones ringing. It's 316-462-3673. I'll throw that back up on the screen there, and we'll have to adjust that a little bit, kind of blocking me out there, Josh. That's right. Probably what we need to just block me out half the time, right?
They say you have the face for a radio.
There you go.
I guess that's what the deal is.
So, hey, everybody, welcome to 2021, and it's our first live show here at Hambelton Ford on the podcast. You'll be able to catch us a lot more different places, but you can catch us on YouTube Live and also Facebook Live from that part. So let's get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673. You'll be coming into the main store of the dealership. The girls will ask for your name and phone number and address so we can get the price package sent out to you, and then they'll transfer the calls into us. So let's get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673. And we'll get you up live and anything. Again, it's anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. You want to talk about anything in the automobile world. You want to talk about the new Bronco. You want to talk about MH Ford Racing. You want to talk about Hoosier Tires. It doesn't matter. Anything in the automobile world, you get. It's the only show I know out there. You get paid to call in $130 for each and every caller, and it's that price package divided up. You walked into our quick lane or our main store. That's what you pay for these services. And you know what? I don't know another show out there that can get you that kind of a service. And just for making a phone call.
Yeah, just for calling in, we've been known to help customers try and diagnose or get them down the right path. Excuse me. There's a lot of research, I guess, one can do, through Google or through the internet for sure on if they have an issue with a vehicle or a problem with it. It's a very helpful tool, but it can also be a very hindrance as far as leading you down the wrong direction and getting you some misinformation for sure. And so we've been known to throw out diagnostics as well and help you get your vehicle diagnosed and figure out exactly what's going on with it.
I'm trying to retype back some in. James Furman's out there saying, good morning, boys. And I type back J's. Leave out the M in there. Sorry, James, didn't mean to do that for you, but hey, thanks for saying the picture looks good and everything else like that. So if anybody else would like to tell us how it sounds and looks, because we did a lot of work here. Gus has put a lot of effort into helping us here, our IT guy that's been putting all this together to help us work. So, Gus, thank you for helping us make this show live and making it go good and everything else. So if everybody'd like to comment on that too. But anyway, we got a lot of listeners on live. 316-462-3673. That's the number to dial up in the air to call the main store to get online with us and answer anything you want to talk about. Tires, brakes, batteries, doesn't matter. We're here to answer your question, give you some great feedback and great information. And like Josh says, you can get a lot of stuff on Google, but my God, you can get a lot of terrible stuff on Google too.
Very true. One of the things that I thought we could talk about this morning was just the differences to the consumer to go from, say, like an independent repair facility or, a shade tree neighbor, some mechanic type thing to a dealership, and why going to a dealership. I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there, Phil, of dealerships are expensive. And
No.
years ago, I think that was more so true, but today that's not the case.
Well, Josh, we can talk about that because I was back in the day when I was a wrenching on cars and stuff, and the manufacturers, what they did is they made us charge a labor rate. So if we were doing a warranty repair at a certain dollar amount, we had to charge everything at that dollar amount. And it's kind of like I was explaining to a gentleman the other day. I can't charge you the same labor rate to change your oil as I need to charge you for a high-tech check engine light or a diesel repair or heavy engine repair or whatever. Finally, the manufacturers backed off of that. Now, this has probably been 25 years ago, and let us have some variable labor rates where we could be competitive in the marketplace from that standpoint. So I challenge everybody now to find out how competitive we are with our variable labor rates from different labor rates for what we charge and do different things there too. But you are right, Josh. It used to be that dealerships were very expensive. And I agree with that. They were back in the day because we had to charge that high end labor rate to change your oil.
Yeah.
To mount tires, to rotate your tires, to do brake jobs, that kind of thing. And that just wasn't competitive with everything out there in the marketplace. But finally, the manufacturers got away from that and made us more competitive.
Well, and I think some of that too is years ago, vehicles, as far as the reliability of them and the number of visits that a vehicle would have during a warranty period was much greater than it is today. Years ago, it was nothing to have several visits in a warranty period of a vehicle, and today it's possible to not even need a warranty visit in the warranty period of a vehicle, just because of the advancements in technology and how much more reliable these things are. And years ago, 100,000 miles, you'd be putting a car in a salvage yard. Well, right now, 100,000 miles, it's just getting broken and getting ready to go.
Yep, exactly. We need to say, Tony says, sounds great. Thanks, Tony. Matt West. Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Morning, Matt. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Got a lot of people on live and stuff too. So just wanting to see how things are shining here. But it's our first day not being on the radio. We're doing it on the podcast live stuff. So appreciate all the comments and everybody listening and watching and stuff too. So 316-462-3673. Hey, that's the number to dial up and get anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. And, we're talking about now about how competitive we are. And I challenge anybody to see how competitive we are with that, with our pricing.
One of the things that I always have the opportunity to visit a lot of Voc Techs or high schools, automotive programs, stuff like that. And I challenge those people that, if you're really going to get into the industry, because there are shops out there, places out there that will say they'll pay you an insane, hourly wage or hourly commission wage to have you come work for them. But are they supplying you with enough work? What's the tools and equipment in the facility look like? Is it broke in the corner? Nobody cares about it until they need it, or is it fixed when it gets broke and ready to go? And, there's several key points that I talk about through with automotive students, as to when you go into this career, this path, you really have to look at a lot of those things, because anybody can put a dollar sign on something and make it look good.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. And trust me, I could tell you some stories about my situations coming into that situation too, and how I was promised some different things and stuff. And I remember one of the first dealerships I went to work for, promised me this and promised me that. When it really come down to it, I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Then the second one I went to promised me, they did pay me some more money, flat rate hour and everything else like that. Promised me training, all that kind of stuff. And Josh never got any. Never got trained or anything. Finally, when I went to the third store in Topeka, that's when I finally got a shop that had the right tools, had plenty of work, trained me, send me to training and everything else like that, and paid me a good wage. And that's when I really took off and was successful. And I tried to take those learning experiences that I had personally and roll that into the next technicians coming here to work at Hambelton Ford, that doesn't happen to them.
Sure. There's a training, you mentioned a key point there, and that's something that's so crucial in this industry, especially. It is just ever changing. I mean, if you're if you're out of the industry for 6 months, you're so far behind the technology already. I can just think of the products that we have coming. The Bronco's right around the corner. I mean, we've already got the Sport currently now, but aside from that, we've got the Mach-E. It's going to be right behind right behind as well. So there's just a lot of things about training that we need to talk about for sure. So.
Okay, we got our first caller coming in, so bear with us here as we try our first technicality here. Make sure we get the phone call coming in so everybody can hear the phone call. And Josh, while you're getting that dialed up, Tony Douglas will come to you here shortly. You've got a question on your 2007 F-150 with 68,000 miles on it. We'll get to you shortly. And first of all, we're going to go to the phones and talk to Cole. Cole, you're live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Cole, you're live with us. I think we lost Cole. I think we lost Cole. We'll have Cole come back through. Oh, nope, here he is. Cole, you with us?
I am. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. How about yourself?
Very good. Very good.
Good. You are live with Under the Hood. So you got a question for us today?
I do. I know Phil well, and I know he's a wealth of knowledge. I'm looking at getting into doing some road racing with my son, just something for us to do on the weekends. And my question to you guys is, do you guys do other vehicles, makes and models than the Ford line, and specifically in the racing world, not V8s?
Cole, we do a lot of stuff. Even though there's a lot of hot rods there for Fords and stuff, we realize that there's a lot of other hot rods out there too to go have that road race fun with. So yeah, we'll work on anything, help you with anything. If you're going road racing, I know you probably need some slicks, don't you?
Well, I'm thinking more of like a autocrossing or like an open track day at Hollitt, or something like that. So I'm thinking more of a tune on a smaller engine. I know a lot of we're looking at a bunch of different cars, but I know Miatas, for those, they're like little go-karts.
Yep.
Very customizable. In fact, I think there's a bolt-in V6 EcoBoost that goes right into the 99 pluses that gives a Miata like 300 horsepower. And as you know, 300 horsepower and 2,100 pounds, that makes for a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree with you there too. So yeah, we can help you with that. Cole, Rage and I was going down there is the Hoosier tires. We can help you with those. Don't know when you put a tune in one of those cars, you're going to need probably some better octane fuel. We can help you with that, whether you want some Sunoco or some VP racing fuels. But yeah, there's all kinds of things we can help you there with from that part. And that's one thing everybody thinks we're a Ford store. That's all we want to work on. That's all we want to sell, but that's not true. Cole, we want to help you with whatever make and model you have. We've got a great room of technicians that can help with that kind of stuff. If you need a tune, we can help with that. Whatever it might be to help make that road racing get after it. I'd love to see the car. You haven't picked a car yet. Is that right, Cole?
What, I have not picked a car yet. No, I'm looking at a few right now, but we're looking at pulling the trigger. But we've got time, since none of the road events are happening until March and April, so. Yeah,
you got a little time there. Josh and I've talked about too, taking our hot rods down to Hallett and having some fun down there. I've got a buddy that lives right there by the track, very close to the track, with like 30 minutes, and he takes his Corvette out there all the time and has fun with it. So I've never been on Hallett. I've been on Topeka at their road course up there. But I hear that Hallett is a heck of a course and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good stuff. So excited, as you know, Phil, we're into the water sports stuff. So it kind of dips into the wrong season for us, but maybe in the spring and in the fall we can have a little fun and look forward to getting involved more and getting back into cars. So I appreciate you guys' time. And yeah, maybe it's nice to know you guys are so close to us. It's nice to know that you guys can do all that stuff, and it's not just a Ford show over there.
Yeah, it's amazing. You walk through our shop, Cole, and you'll see there's a lot of Fords in our shop too, but there's a lot of other making models rolling through here too, because we try to take care of everybody. And much I love everybody being a Ford, I know that can't happen, but so that's why we got our techs well trained to be able to do what we can to help you with any maker model. So let us know how we can help with that Miata if you get, or whatever it is. We'd love to help you.
Hey, I appreciate it. Every time I walk through your guys' showroom, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I don't want to leave. They're like, all right, buddy, it's time. You got to go.
Yep, I get it, Cole. Well, summertime's coming. I say that right now. Every day is a little closer to that summertime. I drive by your place once a week, headed over to the auction, and see all the activity happen over there too. So a lot of fun there too, Cole.
Yeah, we are. We're looking forward to having another pro event this year, and yeah, we skied yesterday, so
wow,
it's a full all year round, and we had snow on the ground. We had the boat out, so
good for you.
Look forward to. I know. Thinking about you the other day, drove past your place and was thinking, maybe I need to call Phil. So appreciate the information, and I'll look forward to catching up with you guys when this snow melts and get back out on the road.
Hey, Cole, thanks for the call, buddy.
All right. You guys have a good day.
You
Thank
too.
you.
See you, Cole. All right, 316-462-3673. Hey, that's the number to dial up in the air. And everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We are first time live with no radio. We're just Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and then we're going to have it out on the podcast after this first show. So love some comments and questions and everything you might have to keep things working here and stuff. But Josh, let's go back to Tony. I have a 2017 F-150 with 68,000 miles on it. Any maintenance or upkeep should I do it? New tires and oil changes by MH regularly. So what kind of what should we tell?
Maintenance is one of those things that manufacturers do what I consider to be a pretty poor job of putting a maintenance schedule out there. And to be perfectly honest,
you're bragging on them there, Josh.
Yeah, there really is no blanketed maintenance schedule anymore for these users or for these consumers by all means, and that's why the value of the multi-point inspection is so important. And being able to look that vehicle over and check out exactly what its needs. Everybody's driving habits are different. Everybody's what the conditions that they drive in are so much different, and you have to be able to have a certified factory trained technician take a look at that vehicle and know exactly what it needs. The other side of that is these guys, especially in a busy shop, they see your same vehicle in masses as far as the number of units that they see. So they know the components that are weak or the areas to look at because of high rate of failure or just what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, I agree. And Tony, to really hit your deal is that, like Josh said, every time you come in our service department and make that 5,000 miles, don't go too far over that. I know a lot of oil manufacturers think you can go longer and everything else in that part. And your owner's man, you're going to try to tell you 7,500 to 10,000 miles. The best maintenance you can do on your vehicle is getting it in here every 5,000 miles, getting an oil change. Let's do a dab and loop, check all the other fluids, see how they're doing from that part. And then we can sit down and put out a maintenance plan and a schedule for you, Tony, which I'm sure we probably already have. To help you maintain that truck and keep it moving like it needs to move and run 200,000 to 300,000 miles. And, Josh, just, of course, it seems like I know it's Saturday, but it seems like it's Monday because of being off yesterday and everything else like that. Thursday, I went out to bid a truck and I walked up to that truck and I would have swore that it probably had 40 or 50,000 miles on it, had 256,000 on it. Okay. So, he's maintained that truck to go that many miles and everything else in that part. So, Tony, love the question, love that part of it, and you got a great question there for sure. So
well, and there are some mileage interval things, transmission service we look at, and it really depends on the again what you're doing with it, especially on a truck. People pulling with it, people. Are you pulling heavier loads? Is it just city driving? Is it in highway driving? You're going to have more shift points if you're just doing in town driving. So you're going to build heat more. That transmission is going to need to be serviced sooner than one that's just they get on the highway and they go, 2-3 hours a time and stop and then get on the highway and go again. Pulling's another thing. Dusty environments or the conditions that you're driving in changes maintenance intervals as well. But there are things, like spark plugs and stuff like that we can get a pretty decent mileage recommended maintenance interval on for sure. But that's just where that value of that multi-point inspection, it's so important to be looking over these vehicles and by somebody that knows what they're looking at.
All right, let's go to the next question. James Furman, been watching the Tulsa shootout, and God, I wish I've had some more time to watch that, but I haven't. The Chili Bowl's right around the corner, and he said it's on his bucket list. Well, James, what I'm going to tell you is over on my desk is a stack of Chili Bowl tickets. And I didn't think we were going to get any tickets, but we did. So I want to tell you, keep an eye out. We're going to have a contest for some Chili Bowl tickets. So you've got to keep your eyes out for that. And we've got tickets all the way from Monday through Saturday. Might be a little hard on those Saturday night tickets, right, Josh?
Yeah.
And I will tell you, we're going to be doing this show live from the Chili Bowl, like we had the last couple of years and stuff from down there at Tulsa. And we're going to have a special guest on the show with us, Justin Allgaier from the Xfinity race, NASCAR race season, is going to be on board with us. Him and his dad own the Hoosier Midwest, which is the Hoosier franchise next to us on the side of Missouri, and a whole big stand on all the states they have or whatever. But we've grown a great partnership with those guys. And Justin was on last year with us, and he's going to be on live again this year. He was in the run for the top 4. He almost had it.
Yeah.
Coming around there, we were at Salina Raceway racing with Jake in the modified, and we had the iPad up with Justin there watching him go, and he almost had it, but very close. So stay tuned for that, James. We're going to have some contest for those tickets, and we'll give tickets away each day. There for the Chili Bowl, so who knows? Maybe you can get that on your bucket list and get one thing checked off your bucket list.
It's very exciting down there. I've never had a bad time down there. So it is very exciting.
Anyway, Josh, it's time for a break.
Okay.
Can't believe it's already flown by that fast, but it has. And everybody, keep your eyes open. We're gonna have a 316-462-3673. That's the number to dial up in the air for any questions you might have from that part. And let's get the calls running there. We'll get that on the screen there so you can get that number real easy and everything. We're going to take a quick time out and thank our sponsors, which is Big Corner Creative for all your advertising needs. BG Products, all the great preventative maintenance products we use right inside here at Hambelton Ford. And, of course, Go To Rent. Hey, if you're looking for a rental vehicle, Explorer, Expedition, 12 or 15-passenger van, give Stan a call right inside here at Hambelton Ford at Go To Rent. Back after a few. Bill Nightingale, General Manager of Hambelton Ford. Are you looking for a used car, truck, or SUV? With the largest selection in the state, you're sure to find the vehicle you're searching for at Hambelton Ford. At the Big Corner, customers are number one, so every used vehicle is checked out in our shop by a certified technician before it goes out on the lot for sale. Shop Hambelton Ford first, a dealer you can trust. Visit us out on West Kellogg today or shop us online at mhford.com. Hambelton Ford, experience the difference. Hi friends, Phil Nightingale with Hambelton Ford Racing. We're excited to announce we've launched an all-new, user-friendly, state-of-the-art website. mhfordracing.com is up and live and ready to go. The new website features thousands of different products and continuing to grow. To better position Hambelton Ford Racing with the demand of racers, this is a huge step for Hambelton Ford Racing. What are you waiting for? Go to mhfordracing.com now.
Going out of town can be a hassle if you don't have the right size vehicle. Go to Rent. Inside Hambelton Ford has the solution for you. With a great selection of vehicles, Go to Rent has the vehicle to fit your needs with prices comparable to any rental store in Wichita. Call Go to Rent. That's Go, the number 2, Rent, before you hit the road this year. Go to Rent at the big corner of 119th and West Kellogg. It's where you go to rent.
Hi friends, Phil Nightingale, General Manager of Hambelton Ford. As we come to the end of 2020 and begin 2021, we would like to say thank you for your business. Thank you for choosing us to purchase your new or used vehicle. Thank you for choosing us for service at our main store, at our Quick Lane. Thank you for choosing us to purchase Hoosier tires and all your other racing parts. When you're deciding where to do business in 2021, choose us, a business you can trust, where customers come first. Hambelton Ford, experience the difference. Well, welcome back to the show, everybody. My name is Phil Nightingale. I'm the General Manager, and Josh Prophet, our Service Director, here to take your calls at 316-462-3673. And I had a great call ready this morning. Get some great comments coming over here on Facebook. And Tony, you're very welcome. Love taking care of your truck down at the Quick Lane. And good morning, Fred. Fred, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And James Furman, are you not on KFH anymore? Sorry, James, we are not. We're just going Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And then after today, we'll have enough things set up to be doing podcast lives and stuff like that to be able to do a few more things with this show and stuff like that. But love your caller. Love to take the calls, and it's only showing you get paid to call in on 316-462-3673, and you get a price package valued at over $130. If you walked into a Quick Lane or a main store and asked for these services, that's what you'd pay. So please, let's get the phones ringing. Love to take your calls. And again, it's anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, or anything whatsoever. We're here to answer your questions. So, Josh, a lot of great things coming through the first segment with the questions and stuff. Next exciting thing we're talking about is 21 F-150.
Yep.
Finally got some in and they're flying out. I want to take one for a drive.
Yeah.
We drove them down in Dallas. I haven't even drove one yet.
Yeah.
We're selling as fast as we can get those trucks in and stuff too. We even had a kind of crazy. We had a white Platinum on the showroom floor, and we had two customers at the same time trying to get that truck,
trying to get it.
So,
just what I've seen of it. And like you said, we were down in Dallas with them and got the opportunity to get in them trucks and mess with them and drive them and stuff like that. And a lot of great improvements that they have on those things. That display is first class for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, that Platinum, I talked to the gentleman after that, and he was in a 16 F-150. Now he's in the 21. He can't believe. I told him, I said, you're not going to believe. I even saw a difference, Josh, every year from 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Ford kept improving that truck and the ride and just the different things they've done to that truck.
So he would have the 10-speed transmission. Jumped up for that for sure. The other thing, did he get the power boost on that thing, or we
have not got a power boost truck in yet? So they're still coming. A little bit later production on those power boost trucks. I do have about 4 or 5 of them in the pipeline coming. But you're right, that dash, the display, it's crazy. So let's see here. Some more questions coming through Facebook. All righty then. Need to update. Yeah, James, update everybody. Let everybody know where we're at today. Fred Cross, I saw you guys made the Bristol entry list. Good luck to you guys. Hey, Fred, thank you. It's kind of exciting. That's my favorite track.
Yeah.
I've been quite a few places with NASCAR and stuff, and I still remember it's probably 6-7 years ago when I walked into Bristol and I walked into that top platform and looked down there. It's just, I know there's just this sense of
makes the hair on your arm stand up. Yeah.
Crazy. So now to get to go race there and everything else, it's going to be fun. Jake and I are pumped up. Of course, we're taking Tanner Mullins and Buddy Mullins going with us, and we're dialing the cars in for that. And because there's a lot of changes we're making for that car to go to Bristol.
Yeah.
It's going to be the fastest these cars ever went from that part. So we're really dialing a lot of things up and everything else too, Fred. So thanks for that, Fred. And it's going to be fun. I don't care how we finish, whatever. It's just going to be a blast to say we raced on Bristol Motor Speedway. So,
it's one of those things that, you go to win, obviously, but that one, I truly think you go for the experience, or you can go for the experience. And if you win, hey.
Trust me, we're going as fast as we're going to get after it. We're putting a lot of money and a lot of effort and everything into those cars to dial things in for the extra speed and stuff we're going to be going. But it is going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of work and stuff. But you know what? That's part of the fun.
Yep.
Week long down there at Bristol. I know we don't race every day and stuff like that, but Tanner's running in the modified A mods, and we're going to be in the IMCA division. From that part. So we have the two different cars in 2 different classes. Will be fun to help tile each car in. That way we're not both running both days and everything else on that part too. And when I first got set up, I had to go into the A-Mod class because the IMCA was full.
Okay.
But I got on a wait list and they notified me, hey, you're in. I said, good, let's go.
Yeah.
And from that part. And I'm trying to figure out how to get to these questions. Yeah, Fred. Being in the pits is awesome. Bristol's like the Hutch and the fairgrounds on steroids. That's no kidding. It's a half mile, but it's on steroids. That's for sure, James. No doubt. It's like I'm being on steroids. So going to be fun there too. So anyway, we took those questions. We were talking about the 21 F-150 and can't wait for you to get a few more of those in so I can drive one finally.
Yeah.
I might have to just go get one of those Lariats out and go take them for a spin, but then we're leaving here as fast as we can get those two. From that part. So
we got a lot of the Bronco Sport. It's those are trickling in. I got another one of those Friday night. I don't know. I'm mixed up in days.
You're mixed up again. Thursday night. I know, mixed up on the days, right?
So I got another one of those in, and those I've had 3 or 4 technicians approach me about them and just say, because it is kind of built off the Escape platform, it is a little bit different from that side, but they can't believe the difference between the 2 vehicles. And how they're just kind of night and day. There's nothing really one better than the other by any means, but they're just so unique in their own way.
They are. That's one thing I have drove is the Bronco Sport. Drove it a little bit. It's built off the Escape platform. Now the 2-door and 4-door Bronco is not built off anything. It's their own platforms and stuff. So when I got in the Bronco Sport, I thought, well, it's going to drive like an Escape. Drives nothing like an Escape.
Yeah.
It's a whole different driving experience, everything else like that. So you need to come in and check out the new Bronco Sport. It's pretty cool. We're still a little ways away from the 2-door and 4-doors. Hopefully here in a week or two, we'll have the order bank open for the people that have ordered their new 2-door and 4-door Broncos. We can actually put them in the order bank and get them in line and start building them. We had another little hiccup with the roofs on the 2-door and 4-door, so it delayed them a little bit more again.
Yeah.
Can't tell you why we got delays there, but we got delays. But
the other side of that, though, is when they release it, it's going to be right.
It's going to be right. It's going to be I keep watching these different YouTube videos and things out there, too, that's very cool. And just can't wait to get those things on the showroom. But you're right. When it gets here, they'll be right.
The other thing, Mach E, very excited for that to be right around the corner for sure. I don't know. That's going to be a completely different thing, than anything we've been used to. But just what we've seen of it so far, it looks very cool.
We've got one Bronco Sport that we have what we call our courtesy transportation program. You can just come in and take it for a spin and stuff, which right now it's out. Not sure when it's coming back from that part. We're doing the same thing on the Mach E. And the first one we're getting in is going to be our courtesy transportation program car. So you can come in and just take it for a spin. We'll keep it charged up and ready to go. Then I got another one right behind it. But then really the ones next in line are all sold. So you got to get in and check out that Mach E. And I know there's a lot of negative press calling it the Mustang Mach E. I don't put the Mustang in there. I just call it the Mach E from that part. But I'm telling you, when the as things I see what Ford's doing with that Mustang Mach E and what it's going to do down the road, it's going to blow you away. Some of the new features and things that are coming from that part. So, hey, 316-462-3673. Give us a call. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, we want to hear from you. We want to answer your questions. Something you don't understand, something you don't know, got some problem you don't know what's happening to your car. Love to talk to you about it. 316-462-3673. And you get a great price package valued at over $130 for each and every caller. And no dumb questions, right, Josh?
It's been in this industry a long time. I know you have as well. And that's one of those things about the moment that you think that you've entered or somebody's asked a dumb question, and then you get to digging into it, and it's like, wow, that really happened, or that's really a thing.
Yeah.
Or I've just never been blown away much here lately on things that happen automotive, because every situation's different that you get into for sure. And before we started taking the last caller, we were talking about the differences between, why a dealership, going to a dealership. And one of the things that you had mentioned was training. And, there are training criterias or training requirements for our technicians, but there's what they call a minimum standard of training, and then there's what we do for training, and it's way above the minimum standard of training to start out with. But I mean, it would take a technician, somebody just starting out, literally going from entry level, somebody that's wanting to just have the drive to work on vehicles, no really tools or experience, all the way up to a senior master guy. Those guys probably have 7-8 years of invested in training to get to that status. And just because they're there, it doesn't stop. I mean, it's continual. I mean, every 3 months, every 6 months, there's new courses rolling out that these guys are taking, trying to stay up. And if you're going to be in this industry, it's not an option to not change or not train or adapt, because things are always evolving. The amount of tech that they're putting in these vehicles is crazy.
It is, Josh. And, I've said this many times on the show and stuff like that too. But, back in my day, wrenching on a car, if you walked in the shop I was working at, and if I had my shop manual out, I didn't know what I was doing. Today, if you walk in the shop and that technician doesn't have his laptop out, he has no clue what he's doing. There's so many things going on today, and you've got to have that shop manual, which is the laptop with all the information on it at his fingertips, ready to go from that part, and have that information. And we've bought that information for all makes and models, not just Fords, but all the updates, all the things that are going on, and all the access you have to the internet to find the right diagnostic tools, and it drives me crazy with these parts houses out there that have these code readers, and you plug a code reader in, it says it's an EGR valve, so they sell you an EGR valve.
Yeah.
That's just a description of the code. That doesn't tell you what's wrong with the car. You've got to go through a diagnostic trouble tree and flow it down and do the diagnostic correctly to know what part it needs. It might be a loose connection. It might be a vacuum leak. It might be something plugged up with carbon, and just replacing a part. There's no way a code reader can read that. But the other thing is that code reader can't read the in-depth of a code that you need to get read down to either. They can't communicate with the computers like
like a scan tool can.
Correct.
Yeah, identifying the differences there. And you brought up a good point there as far as going to a parts house and doing that. We work on a lot of vehicles in one day. And
yes, we do.
amazes me as these vehicles change, and
Mhm.
you know, the more tech that goes into them and everything like that. And I know this is a big topic with you, but how many times we can fix a vehicle just by updating a module, updating a computer.
That
From
should be a
that
big
side,
joke around, because I always say do an update, and
yeah.
everybody laugh at me because sometimes it didn't fix it. But nowadays, it's more important than ever, these updates they have.
And you're not going to get that at a parts house. You know,
No.
you're going to get oh, we got a code here, and let's buy this part.
Right.
You know, from that side. But the way these vehicles communicate with each other, talk as far as module to module, and the speed in which they do that, there's so many different variables that go into that. And you know, from a technician side, if you don't have the proper tools, proper equipment to go in and diagnose that, you literally would beat your head against the wall repetitively, when all in all, you know, there's a module update for it or a computer update for it that fixes a concern.
You know, and you talk about, Josh, you know, back in the 80s, we had one computer in these cars. Now, what do we got? Sometimes we got 30 to 40 computers talking to each other. So one can go down, but pull three others down, and you don't know which one's really pulled anything down. So you kind of get into that diagnostic. I can't see what these code readers are going to do in another 5 years, see what they can pull off. How many wrong things they're going to tell consumers to buy parts for and everything. I get they want to sell parts, you know, it's like we want to sell you service and stuff, but we're only going to sell you what you need. That part. Anyway, 316-462-3673 through the number back up there on the screen. Jump on the phone. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, you get a great price package valued at over $130. Josh, go through that package again and what's in there so everybody knows. We might have some new listeners, and I shouldn't say listeners, we should say watchers.
So we're going to send it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're doing that, we're going to perform a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the tires, brakes, batteries, steering, suspension components, just everything kind of safety related. Make sure that vehicle's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the big corner, as well as complete nitrogen for your tires. So you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer, and a BG products package, which is going to consist of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then a can of CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go, like you said, for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. And love to take your calls and help you with anything that might be happening in your car, or jump on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. And after today, though, if we get one session in here, we'll be up on some other podcasts and things from that part too. Love to take your questions. Love to give away this price package. Only show I know you get paid to call in on. So 316-462-3673.
So we talked about training. One of the other things, you know, as consumers in general, you're driving your vehicle, and I don't know how many times I get in a vehicle and it comes in for, say, a check engine light or something along those lines, and you get in the vehicle, and it's just habit with me. It doesn't matter whose vehicle it is. When I get in it, the very first thing I do is look up to see where it's at for service. You know, I could get a rental car. It doesn't matter. I hop in the seat and I look up and see.
First thing I do.
Yeah. Look and see mileage on it, and I look and see when it's due for service. But it just blows me away, the number of those that from a consumer is they bring it in for something other than that service. And, you know, it's 1,000 miles over or 1,500 miles over. And it's not, I don't think anybody really does it on purpose. It just, we get so busy. You know, you made mention of it years ago, working with your dad at a filling station. Somebody would come in, maybe get 200 miles out of a tank of gas, because we were getting, you know, next to 10, 15 miles to a gallon back then. But pull up, and every time you filled up the vehicle, you checked the tires, you topped off all the fluids, maybe added oil, you know, from that side, filled up the washer fluid. Now, you know, like you said, we just go up to Quick Trip and you put more fuel in it and you go down the road. There is no really that in between intervals checking over a vehicle. And so the point, I guess, of where I was going with this is just everybody's busy.
Yes.
Very busy. And it's so easy to miss those mileage intervals and things like that, which is very important too. But going into the advantages of coming to, you know, a larger dealership or a dealership versus an independent or somebody's neighbor working on your vehicle from that side of it, is where I was headed with that, is number of parts inventories. The parts inventory that we have here, that is parts that are ready to go on the vehicles that's in the stall to get diagnosed. Time is money at the end of the day. And when that inventory is sitting right there and you're able to just put it on a car and you know, that technician doesn't have to wait on it. You go to a independent garage and those guys, they figure out what's going on with it. The next thing they do is they got to find the part.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got to secure the part and get it and stuff like that. And it's just, those are a couple of other things that I always talk about with the VOTEC classes and when you're going into this industry, what to look for, you know, key bulletins.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's so many things that go into factor nowadays of repairing your cars, you know, and I know there's still a lot of guys like to work on their own cars, all that kind of stuff too. And I get that. There's a few things I like to do. I mean, love getting back there wrenching on that race car and stuff. But, you know, if my GT500, I hate to tell you, I'm not changing on that thing. I'm getting one of my guys to do it every day. And let them do that, not me. For that part. But you know, there's so many things that go on these cars today, and all the technology, all the creature features, all the fun things we need to have. And you know, it's just like yesterday when I was cruising around the Expedition and I was using the lane keeping and I was using the adaptive cruise, and the next thing I know, I was kicking that thing into auto mode on the 4-wheel drive, and you know, all the stuff that goes in there. And you know, we take so many things for granted. You know, the remote start and the heated seats and all those other things that go in there. But that's the things we love in our cars today. And it takes a special talent to work on all those things.
I think while we're talking about parts too, you know, as far as just the general volume of parts, there's a difference between aftermarket parts and factory parts. I got
to back up on that before. Hold your thought, because let's talk about Fred. He's got another question here. 2004 Buick Century with the security light on. How do you reset that light? Well, Fred, you really don't reset it. When that light's on there, Fred, there's a reason it's on, and most likely on that 04 Buick, I'm going to go to the ignition switch probably.
Yeah, so it has a patch transceiver on it, and it's on the ignition cylinder itself. And then so essentially there's the key, and then there's the reader in the ignition cylinder itself. And when those two don't agree with what's going on, that's when you typically will get that light. The most common thing for that is the cylinder itself, just as it wears out. The first thing that I would wonder is the key itself. If you have a second key, would be to try that and see if you get the same result as far as the security light coming on or not. And then if you don't, then the odds are pretty good that it'd be the key. But if you continue to have the issue, the chances are more likely that it would be that ignition cylinder. But there could be something going on, you know, wiring and module and stuff like that as well. But there is a program procedure for that. But again, until the issue's fixed, I don't think it's going to do you any good to be able to program that.
All right, Fred, if you got more questions, we got your number after the show. We'll give you. Well, no, we don't have, because Fred didn't call in. Fred, I think I know how to get a hold of you after the show. We'll talk to you about that and help you with that situation. With that part too. So anyway, everybody, it's a call-in show, and I'd love to take your questions and stuff too. Got the number back up on the screen, 316-462-3673. Love to take your question. Get a great price package valued at over $130 for each and every caller. I know only show I know you get paid to call in on. And Josh, you know what? It's time for another quick little timeout. So the number's up on the screen there. Let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, new products, anything in the automobile world, MH Ford Racing, Hoosier Tires, racing parts. Give us a call so we can give you that great price package valued over $130. So let's take a quick time out and let's thank our sponsors, which is Big Corner Carady for all your advertising needs. Hey, if you got a business, you need a web page, race car wraps, window wraps, vehicle wraps, anything to advertise your business, as those guys at Big Corner say, just Google us. BG Products, all the great preventative maintenance products we use right inside here at Hambelton Ford. And, of course, Go To Rent. Hey, if you're looking for a rental car, an Explorer, Expedition, 12 or 15-passenger van, give Stan a call right inside here at Hambelton Ford at Go To Rent. Back after a few.
Hi, friends. Bill Nightingale, General Manager of Hambelton Ford. Are you looking for a used car, truck, or SUV? With the largest selection in the state, you're sure to find the vehicle you're searching for at Hambelton Ford. At the Big Corner, customers are number one, so every used vehicle is checked out in our shop by a certified technician before it goes out on the lot for sale. Shop Hambelton Ford first, a dealer you can trust. Visit us out on West Kellogg today or shop us online at mhford.com. Mel Hambelton Ford. Experience the difference. Hi, friends. Phil Nightingale with Mel Hambelton Ford Racing. We're excited to announce we've launched an all-new, user-friendly, state-of-the-art website. mhfordracing.com is up and live and ready to go. The new website features thousands of different products and continuing to grow. To better position Mel Hambelton Ford Racing with the demand of racers, this is a huge step for Mel Hambelton Ford Racing. What are you waiting for? Go to mhfordracing.com now.
Going out of town can be a hassle if you don't have the right size vehicle. Go to Rent. Inside Mel Hambelton Ford has the solution for you. With a great selection of vehicles, Go to Rent has the vehicle to fit your needs with prices comparable to any rental store in Wichita. Call Go to Rent. That's Go, the number 2, Rent, before you hit the road this year. Go to Rent at the big corner of 119th and West Kellogg. It's where you go to rent.
Hi, friends. Phil Nightingale, General Manager of Mel Hambelton Ford. As we come to the end of 2020 and begin 2021, we would like to say thank you for your business. Thank you for choosing us to purchase your new or used vehicle. Thank you for choosing us for service at our main store, at our quick lane. Thank you for choosing us to purchase Hoosier tires and all your other racing parts. When you're deciding where to do business in 2021, choose us, a business you can trust, where customers come first. Mel Hambelton Ford. Experience the difference.
Well, welcome back to the show, everybody. My name is Phil Nightingale. I'm the general manager here at Mel Hambelton Ford, and Josh Profit, our service director, here to take your calls at 316-462-3673. And everyone, we're live on Facebook Live and also YouTube Live. We're no longer on the radio. Sorry about that for the listeners who are on the radio, but please tune us in at Facebook Live or YouTube Live. This is our first time to do this way, and then we're going to be switching this over here in a couple hours to a podcast stream. And then after that, we'll have a lot of different areas for you to be reaching us throughout the areas and different things through the show. But love to take your calls, and only show you get paid to call in on 316-462-3673. And again, anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything you don't understand about your car, or just want to talk about anything new products, want to talk about MH Ford Racing, heck, anything in the racing world, we don't care. We love racing.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about, we love to help you with that, and take your calls and answer your questions at 316-462-3673. And got any chats still coming up? Okay, Fred Cross says, okay, thanks. Anyway, Josh, I want to play with this a minute.
Well, go ahead, get her. Show that thing up there.
There we go. All right.
But before the last comment there from Fred, we were talking.
Okay,
about,
now, Josh, how to get it down?
I think if you click it again, I think it'll come down. Nope. Go. Yeah, click that maybe. Nope.
Anyway, keep talking.
Yeah. So one of the things we were talking about before the last caller was, the last online chat there was parts, aftermarket parts versus factory parts. And, there is a difference. There is a difference in that for sure.
I bet.
Yeah, go over there and then throw the phone number up there, and I bet it'll come down. There you go.
There we go. Okay, now we got to figure. Still learning some technicalities on the new machine, new equipment. Got a lot of new things we can do here on the show, and from that part. So I see the Twitter and all that stuff. I was looking for the YouTube live stuff. We got to get Clay to get us fixed up on that. Oh, nope.
But yeah, definitely aftermarket parts versus factory parts. When we were talking about parts and availability of them on your vehicle, and not having to wait or not having to order parts with them, having in-house, and how basically time's money. And as a consumer, the delays on vehicle repairs is something that's important. If you can have a car today versus tomorrow, in this day and age, that's important.
Well, let's go a little step deeper further than that too, Josh. I know many of you drove by the dealership here lately. I'm sure you have, and you've seen to the east of our store a big building going up. Well, that's our new parts warehouse. We have run out of space. We've been running Hoosier tires out of a couple trailers. Thank you to Metro Express here in Wichita. The great partnership with those guys. They've loaned us a couple trailers till we get by with this warehouse. But we're building us a huge parts warehouse to help better store parts, have more parts available, all that kind of thing too. So Josh, like you said, getting parts and be able to fix these cars is where we need to be. So it's going to be fun and exciting. About I'm going to say about 3 weeks, Josh, we'll be able to start putting some stuff in that warehouse.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that. And just the whole thing about it, every step of the way, I'm looking at it and thinking, man, this thing's big. And then I know what's going to happen. I mean, we're going to get in it and we're going to grow that thing, and it's going to be too small.
Happens every time.
At some point. Now, granted, that's a long ways down the road, but we're going to get there for sure. But it just is going to enable us to better service our customers for sure.
Well, just to have stuff in stock.
Yep.
The other thing is just going to be efficiency. I mean, we got this back parts room behind our parts is just jam packed, and it's a nightmare sometimes to get the right parts we need and everything else too. So it's going to be fun to be more organized, be able to have these parts ready to go. And hey, we got a phone call, don't we?
We do. Let's go to the phones. Well, actually, here we go.
Getting ready here.
Got a caller on the line here, so we'll go to the phones and talk to Delbert, I believe is his name.
Yes.
They're patching him through here, so he'll be with us here in just a little bit. But we'll talk about the aftermarket parts and versus the factory parts as well as soon as we get off the line here with Delbert. So,
okay, so we're ready for Delbert. Sorry, everybody. We have a few getting used to how to run the new technology and everything else we have going on here at Mel Hambelton Ford at the Underhood Show Live. And we're no longer on the radio. We're just doing podcasts. We're going on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and still working on a few little things with the phone. And we're ready for Delbert.
Yeah. So we got Delbert on the line with us now. Delbert, you're live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
I was muting you. Yes, I'm online.
Yeah.
First of all, start out with your sound is great this week.
Hey, thank you.
That.
Thank you.
Oh, that's went well. I've got a 19 Ford Escape and radio issues kind of thing. I don't know if you guys have any issues with these things. I've got the mid-range radio with the bigger screen. Don't know what they call that. Not the Sony though. Seems like anytime I use my phone a lot in the car, but I don't use Apple Play. So it will when I use Uber, because I drive for Uber, it appears that it connects the Uber even if I don't want it to. Does that make sense? It's connecting through the speakers even though I don't want it to. I have to hit the end button. It's almost like my phone is calling myself. I don't know if you guys are having any issues with that. It happened after the last Apple update.
That
hadn't happened until then. So
yeah, that was going to be what I would wonder if Apple did something. And earlier in the show, and I don't know if you caught it, Delbert, or not, but we were talking about.
I didn't. I was busy. I forgot about it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. But we were talking a lot about updates and stuff. And as the phone manufacturers, there's so many different available options out there for phones. And as the phone manufacturers go through and put updates to their equipment, the same's true with that vehicle and that sync system that you have in there, and it needs updates to be able to keep up with the updates in the phone. So the very first thing that I think we need to try is performing an update on the sync system on the vehicle itself, and just make sure that it's up to the latest and greatest calibration for sure. We run into a lot of situations where that will take care of issues similar to this for sure. So I definitely would want to start there. And as for calling into the show today, we're going to throw a diagnostic onto your package as well. We'll take a look at that at no charge to you and figure out exactly what's going on, and that update may be able to take care of your issue that you're having.
Okay, so you think it's just maybe an update on the radio part that might need to fix? Okay.
Yeah, like I said, these calibrations, the Apple, what they're coming out with updates almost monthly now.
Seems like it,
from that side. And you think about it, the operating system that you're running in that Escape, if it hasn't been updated, could be several years old from that side of it. So you got to get them playing on the same field in order to make it a good game, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So is this something we need to like periodically every 6 months or anything to go out and say, hey, can you guys update my system, or is this something we can do on our own?
So there's a couple of different ways of doing that, and it really depends on the update. But the manufacturer does have it available for a consumer to update. In fact, the new vehicles now that are with connected modems will actually automatically update themselves when they're connected to a Wi-Fi network from that side of it. But there are certain updates that the manufacturers push that are unable to go through that that wireless
Process,
setup.
okay.
And so, especially if something is is very far behind, it's always my recommendation to let the dealer handle it, to begin with, just to make sure that we get everything loads the way it should and stuff like that. So, but we'll get that, like I said, that diagnostic onto your package and take a look at that thing for you.
And the only other question I have is shifting on those transmissions. I know they use the same training in every one of those, but I noticed that my wife has an 18 Ford Escape. We love our Escapes, by the way. And she has a nice smooth shifting. I know she has the 2.0. I have the 1.5. So that will make some differences. But it seems like when I hit the gas, it really shifts hard.
That's probably something else we need to look at too, and let's add that to his diagnostic package too. It's probably we're trying to look at Delbert, put a scanner in there, see what our shift points are doing, and stuff like that too. And again, that might be a simple update too on the transmission control module too.
Okay, yeah, I've got 49,000 miles on it now. Like I said, I drive it for Uber, so
it gets used quite a bit then.
Yes, sir. And sometimes when I shift from reverse to first, or reverse to drive, it I won't say clunks, but it does shift hard getting into that once in a while.
Kind of hard
And
bump.
it doesn't always work that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
not always, just every once in a while does that.
Once in a great while. Well, Delbert, we'll add that to your package too, and I almost bet that's probably a simple update also on top of the same situation.
That's what I'm hoping.
Okay, buddy. Thanks for the call. Happy New Year. And we'll get you taken care of,
buddy.
And
I have to be coming from Oklahoma City, so I'll be coming up there eventually.
All
we
right.
just moved from there. That's why we live in Oklahoma City. So
gotcha.
Oh, there you go.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
No, appreciate you
guys
too,
are
Delbert.
awesome.
Thanks, buddy. All right, Josh, we got another caller. While you're getting the caller on the line, got a question pop up here. Going to play with the new toys here, Josh. What's the square footage in the new warehouse? It's about 50,000 square feet. And then Dale Smith, I love the factory parts were made just for your Ford and nationwide coverage on any problems. Great show, guys. Hey, Dale, thank you for that. Appreciate that very much. Got a few minutes left going to shows. We're ready to get the next caller up and live. 316-462-3673. And we got a couple callers coming in, so let's get the callers going, Josh. Who's up?
We do. We've got Jason Cox. They're getting ready to send – actually, no, I'm sorry.
Deb.
We got Deb. Deb to start out with. They're getting ready to send her through here.
Are we ready? Ready for Deb?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for a little bit of delays here. We're still working out the technicalities on getting everything through the calls with running this. Things are going a lot smoother than I thought, though, Josh. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. So, okay, well, so now we got Deb here.
All right, Deb, you're live.
You're live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. Happy New Year.
Hey, same to you.
Thank you. Just want to make sure I can hear you, too. I have a 2008 Saturn Astra, and it's got pretty low mileage. I got it when it was like about 2 years ago with 16,000 miles on it.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so the check engine light is coming on. It came on, and then it would go off and stay off for a while. The car is running fine. I don't feel any different when I'm driving it. I don't feel anything. The only thing that I do notice sometimes with this vehicle, I don't know if it's like a European made type of vehicle, but the one thing I do notice sometimes is that it'll have this electronic panel that comes up and states that the coolant needs to be replaced. So I'll go check the coolant, and there's a little canister that it sits on a bracket, and the bracket kind of comes loose. So I kind of attach it to the bracket, and then eventually it'll kind of come loose again. There seems to be sufficient amount of coolant in there, and but it just, what happens is when it comes loose off the bracket, it tilts. So maybe there's like some kind of a measurement that gets jockeyed around when it tilts, and it's showing that it's low. But anyways, this light keeps coming on, and then it'll go off for a while, and then it'll come back on. So I don't really know what that is indicating. I thought maybe you guys could shed some light on that.
Yeah, I think what's happening there, Deb, is these cars can sense faults. Some check engine lights will stay on solid and just leave it there until you clear the code or fix the problem. In your situation, you've got a particular code that's the problem is there and then it goes away. A problem, kind of an intermittent kind of going and coming, but it does store code in memory for us so we know what happens when that light did come on. So we need to put a diagnostic on your package. We'll read that code and then we can run through a diagnostic trouble tree and see what's happening. Your particular code is just, it's an intermittent, that it's not, that the computer's picking up, that it's got a failure somewhere. And until we actually read that code and know what's there, it's hard to tell what that might be from that part. As far as that coolant deal, we probably need to check the coolant. We've got some test strips and things to test that coolant, but it could be that container is loose and jarring that sensor around inside the overflow container. I don't think that's probably what's happening at all on that particular situation, though, too. I've seen weirder things in the car industry from that part, but Deb, we'll take a look at both of those. We'll add diagnostics on the package to look at both those situations and see what's going on with that coolant. But the biggest thing is that check engine light's more concerning to me than anything. The sooner we get it here, the better, Deb. The more you drive with the light going on and off, the more damage it could be doing, whatever component is having that failure. From that part. But so we'll get that on your package and get that out to you. And if you want, we can call you after the show and get you something scheduled up too. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good. And then one other question, if you have another moment.
Sure.
So I have a 2005 Honda Odyssey van, and it's got quite a few miles on it. It's approaching 300,000. And the doors, which initially when I purchased the vehicle, it had a couple of glitches in it, and they worked through it. And we got through the door situation, and we replaced some other things. But at almost 300,000 miles, the door on one side is not opening. Like I can barely even get it open. So I'm using one side door, almost like the old style vans, where they only had one side that you can get it on. But so I'm using, and I still have to manually open that door. At this point, do you think it would be worth even putting any money into it to get the doors fixed to where I can use them back on the electronic, where they electronically operate?
Well, I'm going to bet what we've got on that door is moving so hard, the motors are in there to move the door open. There's not enough power because the guides or the hinges or whatever have, bound up or froze up or whatever it might be. So, to tell you that until we look at it, Deb, it's hard to say whether we could look at it and see. So we need to look at it too. We need to look at that Honda and see if we can see what's going on. And who knows, it might be something as easy as just cleaning the hinges and lubricating the hinges enough to make them move smoother again so that motor can actually pull that door open and close. Hard to tell till we look at it. But we need to look at that too, Deb.
Okay. All right. Well, when I come to Kansas next, which we have a lot of family, so I often drive out there, and you guys have serviced my cars, and I really appreciate it. I was also one of the winners of a vehicle probably about 6 years ago.
Very cool.
And that car lasted some time. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I appreciate what you guys do, and thank you so much for taking my call.
You bet. No, thanks for the call, Deb, and Happy New Year. And let us know when you're back, and we can look at those cars for you. Okay.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. All right, Josh, who's next?
So next on the phone, we've got Jason coming through. So we'll get Jason geared up here. One of the things that Deb brought up is should she look at it or not, or is it worth it? And until you look at it and are able to diagnose it, you're really not going to know that answer. And I hate to tell people, hey, that's probably not worth fixing, or
Until you know.
Yeah,
it could be something simple.
Until you
It
know
might be,
exactly what's going on.
like I said, lubricating those doors or whatever it might be, or cleaning those hinges up to make those things work from that part.
So sorry about that, Jason, but you're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hey guys, this may sound like a stupid call, but I'm going to give shout outs to you about your Ford F-150 trucks. I got a Ford F-150 2015, first four-wheel drive truck I've ever had in my life. I actually got to use it yesterday with the snow, and 4 inches of snow. That truck handled really well, and I was totally impressed with the four-wheel drive time on this truck. And I just got to tell you, hands down, Ford tops it. I just want to give you a shout out about that.
I appreciate the phone call, and I can't tell you I agree with you 100% on that deal. Ford's done a great job with that F-150, and this new 2021, they stepped the game up again, and I feel sorry for GM and Dodge and Ram and everybody else out there. That's for sure. I agree with you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year. Thanks for the call, buddy.
You bet.
Have a good day. All right, Josh, we got anybody else?
Yeah, so we've got one more caller on there,
Okay.
and that's Mike. We'll get Mike going here, or get him patched through here, and he'll be with us here in just a little bit. But yeah, that F-150, that's been how many years leading?
Well,
Yeah.
Josh, I'm going to 43, I think.
But then we're going to go ahead and add 21 into that, because both of us have looked at that and
There's no doubt.
know exactly what's going on there. So you're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I want to give you a compliment on the new audio system. It's much improved. I enjoy you guys. Here's my question for you. What's your opinion on these range devices? The ones that you can use it doesn't rewrite your ECU, but it basically allows it to override it and disable your auto stop or disable your AFM or DFM, whatever it may be on the GM model products. And it's all untraceable. I know that as a dealership, you're probably thinking, don't touch anything that's not dealer related, but a lot of people don't like some of these fuel saving features. And I think they're growing in popularity. I want to know what you guys thought of them.
That's definitely a great question there. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you on it from the side of what we see day in and day out. I know with the active fuel management, that you were talking about as far as GM and them killing, they were killing cylinders and stuff like that. And I think they had a lot of problem with their cam and lifters because of that back, a couple years ago. Still an issue, but not near as prevalent as these manufacturers get better and better as they're adding these things, because to meet the CAFE ratings, their systems are getting better too. And to speak from, I'll go kind of back and forth here a little bit, but the auto stop and start, when they added that on there, I think Ford did it in like 14 or 15 was kind of the first year that they had it. It was just as a consumer, as I was driving them, it was an annoyance initially out of the gate. But I tell you right now, I can get in any vehicle out there, and I mean, I know what's happening, I'm acknowledging it, but it's just something that I've gotten used to. And as far as the wear on those components, they've beefed up a battery, they've beefed up a starter. It's been out for several years at this point, and I can't tell you probably the number of components that we've replaced that are related to the auto stop or start feature. It's just it's not there. If it was a high rate of failure, yeah, I guess I could get maybe looking at or trying to adapt or adjust those things. But the manufacturers, I think, have done a really good job of integrating that stuff. But then not only that, just making it work good, and not causing a lot of harm down the road. So from the Ford standpoint, I think it's, other than just the initial, I guess, being different or change, getting over that.
And I've been in a few other products that don't have that auto start set up quite as well as Ford does, and so I get some of those kind of concerns. But I tell you that I've got used to it. I don't even notice it happens anymore from that part. But the biggest thing is just getting the manufacturers to have that CAFE rating so we can keep driving these trucks and everything. Because that's what those auto starts done, is it's made the manufacturers be able to, they get credit points towards that CAFE rating to help that fuel mileage be where it's at. So like I said, Josh, for some more failures, that kind of thing, I get it. But again, you got to remember, the vehicle's got to be warmed up, the battery's got to be charged, all that kind of things before it even takes into a play. And I can't get over how fast they do start. When you let off that brake.
Yeah, one of the things, like if you put an exhaust system on a car, like my older vet, it's not a warranty issue concern anymore. But if I put, when it goes into DFM mode, it sounds different and it doesn't sound good. And if you do anything that you put an exhaust on, that really is kind of an annoying sound, and you get that helicopter effect or whatever from the AFM or DFM. But I was more concerned with, Josh had mentioned some of the, they had cam and phaser failures because of that lifters or whatnot stopping.
Yeah.
So I was just curious how you guys felt about it.
And, what I've noticed, or what we've experienced through here, is honestly, you get into those failures when you don't do maintenance like you need to. I mean, that's honestly the root cause of why that, because those systems are using, oil to do what they need to do. And when you have dirty oil and it's not going to act like it's supposed to be, and it makes those systems harder to work when they're oil in the lifters or oil in the phasers and stuff like that. And so to me, it's really, you can do a much better job just by maintaining the vehicle as far as longevity of it than you are going to be adding these other components. My other thing is when you put these aftermarket tunes in, you really don't know. I mean, it's taking care of whatever you're after, whether it's the auto start or the active fuel management from that side. It is doing that, but you don't know what the other effects are. Long term, you don't know, and what all they've changed, and these vehicles are so fine tuned. If the manufacturer was going to be able to get a little more horsepower or a little more fuel economy out of something by tweaking something in the tune, they'd do it, because there's really no cost to them to do it at that point. And so that's my that's my thought on it. So
I'm right with you 100% there, Josh.
Okay.
So,
yeah, and that's my biggest worry too, is that those things, you got two guys in a garage putting it together, opposed to Ford engineering or whatever. So, hey, great. I appreciate your input on that. That'll give me some influence on what I do, but appreciate you guys and appreciate the show. So have a great day.
Absolutely great question,
thanks for watching. Thanks for the call, and Happy New Year, buddy.
You too. Thanks, man.
Thanks, bud. Hey, Josh, guess what?
It's this flew by.
I know, but what I'm going to tell you is it's 10:11. We missed 11 minutes if we'd have been on the radio, not been able to take these guys' calls and answer these questions. That's what I love about this Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We're not set to that exact hour. We can take these calls. I can remember how many times we'd get calls and we couldn't take them and everything else like that. So it's great for that. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking a look at our first Facebook Live, YouTube Live. And after this show, we're going to have it on all kinds of different podcasts and things for you to watch and listen. Thanks for the comments out there on Facebook. We see everything there. Thanks for letting us know everything sounds good. Got a lot of comments there. Everybody loves it better. I do too. So a better experience for everybody listening and watching it. Thanks for all the calls. We're going to sign off here. But first of all, we need to thank our sponsors, which is Big Corner Creative, for all your advertising needs. Hey, if you got a web page you need, or a race car wrap, or a vehicle wrap, anything to advertise your business, as those guys say, that Big Corner, just Google us. BG Products, all the great preventative maintenance products we use right inside here at Hambelton Ford. And of course, Go To Rent. Hey, if you're looking for a rental car, 12 or 15 passenger van, give Stan a call right inside here at Hambelton Ford. Everybody, stay tuned for next Saturday, 9 a.m. We'll be back live again. We'll keep working through these techniques and keep making this a better show and better quality for you and everything else from that part. Everybody, Happy New Year. Talk to you next Saturday.